Hi all, welcome to LaterCon. My name is Nana Agermine. I am the CEO and founder of Every Stylish Girl and most recently the social media editor at The Cut. And I want to talk to you about how I grew both of those Instagrams exponentially and really took it to new levels. So I want to focus on 4 steps to really grow your Instagram and take it to the next level. So the first thing I want to focus on is finding your niche. You got to figure out what your theme is, what your voice is before you want to build this empire and this brand on social media and make those money, make that coin, get that bag. So the first step in how you do that is figure out what are your top performers on Instagram right now. Is it fashion photos? Is it comedic relief? Is it quote cards? Is it, your puppy? Figure out what that is and really hone on into that. The reason why that's so important is because it's going to help you figure out what is your niche and what is driving traffic to your platform. So once you find those 3 niches, you want to repeat those every single week. So for example, our 3 niches at The Cut was first, women being great, unconventional article title screenshots. If you follow The Cut, you know what I'm talking about. And then lastly, comedic relief. So a lot of people followed The Cut because we were the meme master, but we also were not afraid to be outside of the box and joke about ourselves or, joke about other people. So I think with creating content like that, we really drove our engagement. So when I first got to The Cut about a year ago, we were growing at about 600 followers a week. Once I decided to change my method and focus on our niche and those 3 pillars that I just spoke to you about, we started growing from 600 to 1,000 followers a week to 8 to 10,000 followers a week. And so you see the big difference there when you hone in on something that people want to see when they come to your page. You're giving people what they're interested in, what they're getting entertained from. And they're most likely going to share this content with other people. And this is going to drive more people back to your platform, right? And so that's one example. The next example I want to talk about is with Every Stylish Girl. And so when I first started Every Stylish Girl about 4 years ago, I think I was all over the place. I didn't know what a successful post was. I don't even think Instagram had the business or creators analytics side to it and inside side. No, it didn't actually. And so I was really going off of word of mouth and feedback, which is, a phenomenal marketing tool. But, you can kind of be stagnant when that happens, because if you're talking to the same bubble of people about, what do they like, what do they want to see, you're going to keep, posting the same type of content. And so for me, what really helped is, using that insights tool. So once again, you do not have access to this unless you have a business or creator account on Instagram. And so once we started using that on Every Stylish Girl, I'll call it ESG for short, I started to realize, okay, people love Twitter screenshots, but also empowerment quotes, right? So like, girl, get up today, make that to-do list, go for that run, eat clean this week, just kind of keeping our followers in check, but also motivating them in a very healthy and stimulating way. And so that's one example of a niche that really worked for us. The next example is women uplifting one another. So when we would post group shots of women that really did well, and so that moment we realized, okay, like this is such a strong point for our company, and we have to keep working off of this. And then lastly, it was phenomenal Black women and brown women celebrities, So for Every Stylish Girl, we would also post people like Beyonce and celebrities that we knew had a huge fan base and a lot of people admired, right? Because universally, Beyonce is so loved and, so catered to and appreciated. And posting women like her, we knew we were going to get that high engagement. So you also have to think, okay, you want to keep your company's voice, but you also want to just think about what is just in general doing really well in the public sphere or in social media. And then also I want to just hit on timeliness with posts. When every time we would post on the cut, and we would post, a screenshot of something that connected to our niche that I talked about, or women being great, it would connect to that moment in time, right? So a woman being great maybe could be a woman who just broke a recent news story. It could be a woman who just, helped the law get passed or a bill get passed. So news, because the cut is a news publication, focusing on that timeliness aspect is really important. But also the same thing with Every Stylish Girl is being timely is so key. So that's one of the things with social media is it is so sporadic, but you really have to be on top of it if you want to drive that engagement and drive that content back to yourself. And so for Every Stylish Girl, when we switched and we were posting, within our niche, we went from 300 followers a week to 600 followers a week. So this is definitely doable, from the Cut, a platform at 1 million followers, to Every Stylish Girl platform at 50,000 followers. It doesn't matter what your following is. I think if you want to build a brand and you want to get the bag, you need to figure out what your niche is, and you should start at just 3, I would say, should be the focus. And then when you start building that momentum, that engagement, I think you can expand out from there. Next, I want to talk about planning out your feed and your Instagram stories. Both of these outlets need to be leveraged. Say it with me. Both need to be leveraged. This is so essential because you get so excited about your content in your feed and you plan it all out and you're like, I'm good for 2 weeks. And then you forget about stories. And you have to remember that Instagram is like a friend, and if you don't check on your friend about, how their work is and how their life outside of work is, they're gonna feel like you're neglecting them halfway, and they're not gonna be as open and vulnerable to share with you all aspects of themselves, right? So for Instagram, if you're not sharing with Instagram and engaging with Instagram on your feed and your stories, they will think, okay, you're not prioritizing this platform, and so we're not going to give you more views. We're not going to put you on the popular page. We're not going to expose you to more areas on our platform and give you that traffic because you're not engaging with us in multiple different ways. And so if you're thinking about posting on the feed, what I want to first talk about is it really depends on your follower count for posting. If you're a micro influencer, anywhere from 2,000 to 50,000 followers, I would say you can post 1 to 2 times a day, and you want to use the right hashtags. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. If you are under 2,000 followers, I recommend posting at least 3 times a week. I know you don't want to annoy your followers, but you have to remember, Instagram for you in particular is a business, and you want to, get the bag from it, and you want to grow from it, and you want to engage with others. And so on the Cut, I was posting about, on the Cut, obviously, when I got there, I had 500,000 followers. I was posting 5 to 6 posts a day, and that really helped us with our growth because the more you post, the more visibility that you get for your company in your page. And then for Every Stylish Girl, we post 2 times a day and once on the weekend. And so, like I said, I would think back to what is your follower count, and then match that up to how much you should be posting. And then I want to touch on a few things. People always ask me, does time matter when I post? One thing that I highly recommend if you want to know the best time to post is to use the Instagram analytics side. If you're a business account or you're a creator's account, you should have access to this. If you do not have access to this, I recommend a few times. 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. is a really good time to post. People are getting up, getting ready for work. They're most likely browsing through their phones on Instagram. You have that time slot to post. Then you have between lunchtime, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. to post. That's another good sweet spot. And then you have 3 to 4 where people are at work, but they're kind of lagging, and then they're like, all right, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get off. And then you have 8 p.m. So I like to go heavier on my posts personally at 8 p.m. for ESG, and I did at the Cut, because most likely you just had dinner, you have some downtime right now, and you're on your phone. You want to know the latest news, you want to engage, you want to be more active. That's a time where you have your phone and you're not worried about, getting distracted in that moment from anything else. And so I think when it comes to times, those are some really key sweet spots that I have found really, really helpful if you want to grow your brand and take it to the next level. So next, I want to talk about Instagram stories. A quote that I really, really love is, when you're trying to decipher between what you post on your feed and what you post on your stories, keep this in mind. Instagram feed is for real good content. I mean, this is like top-notch content. You might have planned a photo shoot, did your makeup that day, got your freshest outfit on. Keep that in mind. This is content you want to live forever. You want people to look at this. Now, for Instagram stories, this is where you want to have a conversation with your followers. You want to tell a story. And so because I have a journalism background, stories for me is really fun, right? Because I have so much to say. I am very talky, and it's not enough to throw that in a caption. And so what I do is I create max 8 to 10 stories per a day. So the reason why I say 8 to 10 is because it's not a story if you have less than 5. I don't think it tells a story, at least. So on Instagram, I highly recommend, if you want to do stories, you want to boost your engagement, stick above 8 stories, minimum 5, but don't forget Instagram stories is to tell a story, be engaging, keep people clicking and continuing on. And so also, if you're not sure what to post on your Instagram stories, well, let me share a few ideas with you. So if you're a media company or a business, you should create a series. Do a series that provides user-generated content for your Instagram stories. If you don't have the bandwidth to upload on your Instagram stories every day, do takeovers. Something that was really fun for us at The Cut is I would reach out to different people who are part of the Cut community and say, hi, you're a huge inspiration. Would you want to take over? So that's why we had so many phenomenal takeovers in our past. We've had Tracy Ellis Ross on our Instagram. We've had Gabrielle Union on our Instagram. And it's really about giving people the mic, because I think anyone right now would love to take over a platform that has some type of voice on it, some type of traffic, because we're all trying to boost our own traffic and engagement. So feel free and be open-minded to reaching out to other people. Like I said, Instagram stories is so essential to leverage from, and it's not just about the Instagram feed. And the same thing goes for your personal brand too as well. When you're thinking about what do you want to post on your stories that day, think about, what are you doing that morning? Is it cooking breakfast? Is it making a smoothie? Is it going for a run? Share this with your followers. You'll be surprised how much they actually want to know about you. And I always say, share content that's useful on your Instagram stories, right? So if there's a playlist you really like when you're going running, if there's a recipe for breakfast that you've been obsessed with, most likely your followers are also in tuned and interested, and they want to know. Okay, so my third step is be a social butterfly on Instagram. I know Instagram is great if, you are an introvert, because you're talking to a camera and not actual people in public or on a stage. But I think you also have to remember that Instagram is a place that it will prioritize you if it sees you talking to other people in your community consistently. So what I mean by that is comments have power over likes. Say this with me. Comments have power over likes. So what this means is that you drop this amazing photo on your Instagram and you're getting 100 likes a minute and you're getting all this great engagement, but you're just letting it sit there and you put your phone away and walked away. That's not gonna help your engagement, actually. Even though you are getting so many likes on it, you have to remember that Instagram, once again, needs to see you prioritizing the platform in order to grow on the platform. So you drop this post and you start seeing comments like, you look great, you look amazing, where's this top from? Don't just like those back. When someone says, hey, where's this top from? You respond, hey, this top is from, Shopbop. And also, just a heads up, it runs a size smaller. What do you like so much about this top? I'll let you know more information on it. Create a dialogue in your comment section, because once again, this does boost your engagement. The more comments you have, the more Instagram will start to prioritize your content. So don't just give your girl a like back, your friend a like back, comment back, ask them a question, be as engaged as possible on the platform. I know that I have definitely had a habit of dropping a photo and walking away and not always engaging on all my comments that are left, but you have to really set time for yourself to be able to create that engagement when you can, because it really will boost you on the platform. Also, when we talk about creating engagement too as well and driving traffic, I think Instagram captions are really a great time to use a call to action for your brand. So at The Cut, we did this a lot on our posts. And so when we had an article and we wanted people to read more about it, we would say, link in bio to read more. For Every Stylish Girl, where we have an event coming up, where you say link in bio for the event. You'll be surprised how quickly people will jump to the link in the bio if you leave some type of mystery in the caption for them. So I think mysterious captions when you're doing a call to action can be really great for you and be really innovative and different, because a lot of people, you want to give your whole story away in your caption. You're so excited. But I think when you're looking to drive sales or you're looking to have someone click out to anything, I highly recommend incorporating a call to action. And then also with Instagram captions too as well, be as relatable, authentic as possible. I know it's so easy for all of us to drop an emoji into our caption and call it a day, but this actually doesn't allow your follower to know what your voice is, what your interests are, who you are behind your platform. So just keep in mind the importance of taking time to plan out your captions. When you do that photo shoot, write down some notes about how you're feeling during that photo shoot, how that product made you feel, or, just different notes, so that when you do create your caption, you can really tell a story within your own caption. So lastly, I want to talk about the power of hashtags when it comes to, Instagram captions and being a social butterfly on Instagram. So hashtags are really, really essential, because you need to figure out how to get more visibility to your posts. So yes, you have, so many followers, or you don't have any followers, and you're stagnant and you're struggling. And oftentimes you might think, okay, are my posts being hidden? Like, is Instagram punishing me right now? I think that you need to switch up your use of hashtags. Maybe you're using too many hashtags and Instagram is punishing you. So I would recommend using 8 to 10 hashtags if you want that visibility that you're looking for. And then also use hashtags that are under like 100,000, searches. Like, I wouldn't use a hashtag that's like 1 million or anything like that, because you want to stick with that niche market that will be able to find your page, and not one that's like overpopulated that a lot of other people are using. So just keep that in mind. Do your hashtag research. And then personally, this is an aesthetic thing, but I like to put all my hashtags in as a comment on my photo and not in my caption, because then I realize that people think, okay, this caption is too busy, and they keep scrolling and don't even read the caption. So I just recommend actually putting it in your comment section. So now you've got the tools that you need to, really take your Instagram to the next level. I want you to be able to measure your success. So this is the last point that I'm gonna make, is that when you do create your content, you've worked so hard, you've been using the hashtags, you've been engaged, you found your niche, you've been consistent for, 5+ months. You're wondering, okay, how do I measure my success? So I'm gonna, go back to that original idea of using the Instagram Insights outlet. This is really imperative to your branding and your growth, because it shows you how you're growing each week. What I did at The Cut when I was trying to get it to 1 million followers was that I would just screenshot every week what my growth was, my engagement, and I would compare it to every other week to kind of figure out my growth percentage. And so this was really helpful for me because it made me realize, okay, what did I do this week that I didn't grow as quickly as I did in the past week, right? And it would give me that tool to be able to make those comparisons and then pivot if I needed to for my Instagram strategy. So I highly recommend also looking at what is your most saved post and what are your most shared posts. That's a great way to also measure your success. And then as well as looking at your audience. Is your audience growing, and what cities are your audience growing within? What do you think, what do you think you are targeting in your content that you're making? So I really think all of these tools are really important to measuring your success on your Instagram and your growth. And lastly, too, use an Excel sheet. This is just a really easy way to stay very organized with your following growth, your highly most engaged posts. If you're really serious about this, I recommend creating a quick Excel sheet to track your growth over time. At the end of the day, it's not about followers. It's really not about being the most famous person on Instagram. It's about your engagement on Instagram and the traffic that you're driving, because the more you engage over time, people will be attracted to that authenticity, and you'll have a bigger impact. And I'm excited for you. I know you can do it. If you guys need any help at all, please feel free to follow me at It's Really Nana, and you can slide in my DMs and I'll answer any more of your social media strategic marketing questions. I am here to help. I also love talking about the aesthetic. And so if you have any questions about figuring out your aesthetic as well, I'm here to help. Just let me know. Thank you so much, LaterCon, for having me. This was awesome.